The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN, 8:30 a.m. Tuesday morning. 60 minutes to go until that opening bell, and we got markets in positive territory. We have the Dow slightly negative right now. You're looking at a Dow futures negative by 17 points, trading at 30,096. NQ is positive by 63 points, 12,747. Quite the volatile session we had yesterday across the board. I mean, check out that acceleration in the NQs. You trade from 12,775 overnight. We hit a low of 12,000, about 475 at about 6 a.m. We hit that same exact level at 10:45 a.m. yesterday morning. And, man, we bounce from below 12,500. We're trading 250 points above that level right now, 12,748. S&P's up by 8 points right now, 36.93. Taking a look at yesterday's action. Below 3,600, and we're now inching towards 3,700. How about almost, not really almost, how about 100 points down and 100 points almost back up to the upside in the S&P in about the last 24 hours, a little bit more than that. Remarkable. Crude oil had some volatility yesterday as well, trading at 47.26, made it to within almost 50 cents last week of $50. Remarkable the year it's had. Down to 46.25 yesterday. We're about $1 above those lows yesterday at 47.25. Got to pull out Bitcoin. Up $330 this morning, 23,210 right now. We'll check out the Vix Volatility Index sitting at 25. Is that? Yes, it is. Volatility Index sitting at 2580. The reason why I question is because that's the Volatility Index, but you pull up the actual Vix itself, and we got a spike to 3146 when things look pretty dire at 6 a.m. in the morning yesterday. We recoiled and almost made it to 29 in the middle of the day. And just like that, folks, forget it ever happened. We get the VIX might get a 23 handle by the time we open the market this morning. Gold contract, pretty calm action this morning. Down $1 at 18.81. Was as high as 19.12 yesterday. Talk about some volatility in gold, right? You're talking about a $50 trading acceleration from 19.12. And what is this low? Man, we had some wild things going on in the market to 18.59. Yes, so you're talking about $53 down there. But since then, we're up more than $20, 18.80 in gold. Some context for that gold contract. Bouncing off the 50% retracement from the entire move of 14.50 up to 2,089. And I'm going to jump around a bit. What else we got going on? Love doing the program at 8:30 in the morning. We get a lot of economic indicators that come on the air at this time exactly. U.S. third quarter GDP rose 33.4%. The market was looking for 33.1%. We'll see if the market reacts to that at all. Not really a huge reaction out of the gate. We get the S&Ps. I mean, look at this range, folks. Doesn't always happen. Last hour and a half. Right? You got a 1 to 2 point range in the S&P, and that's after trading. I mean, look at this overnight action. I'm going to back it up again. We got a 5-minute chart. Here's yesterday's action on the chart. We'll zoom in on overnight. Things looked a little bleak again. We make it to 36.65. We've reclaimed all of those 30 points that we lost. In terms of Europe, where we're at, you're talking about Europe's positive by 1.1% in the DAX. Now, the DAX had pulled back like 2.75%, I think, yesterday. It was down dramatically. So I think part of what you're seeing here is that the DAX, Europe, you get the FTSE up 0.4%, CAC roll up about 1% as well. They, of course, are being lifted by the acceleration you saw in our markets towards the end of the day they were not trading at that time. Over in Asia, you got the Nikkei down about 1%, Shanghai down 1.8% right now. All right, continuing to check in on the markets, the 10-year right now, quite the acceleration yesterday as we're sitting at a yield right now of 0.93%. We saw some lower price and higher yield yesterday. Today, pretty calm action. You got the 10-year up 3 ticks right now, and the 30-year up about 10 ticks right now at 172.22. All right, let's jump around to see what we have going on for Tuesday trading. The thing that everybody's talking about, of course, we have the Senate passing the package, $900 billion. Trump's expected to sign the bill worth more than $2.3 trillion. Wrapping relief, funding, tax breaks for a giant package. So the Senate Monday night passed a giant year-end spending bill. So you got the $900 billion COVID relief aid. and you have the $1.4 trillion in regular government funding and a bevy of tax breaks for businesses. The vote was 92-6. House passed the combined bill in 2 votes. Pretty dramatic there, as in 327-85, 359-53. Seems to be consensus in today's political environment, folks. When you're talking about 92-6 votes and you're talking about votes to the tune of those House numbers as well, it goes to President Trump, whose aides said would sign it when it arrives at the White House this week. 5,593 pages, $2.3 trillion in spending, second largest economic relief measure in U.S. history after the act we just passed in March. But folks, we're dealing with the time like none other. Every single Thursday, we get initial weekly jobless claims. I think last week we were talking about a number approaching 900,000. In any other world, we're sitting at a record every single week of people filing for their initial claim of unemployment. Never before had we seen a number, I believe, over 700,000. And we've now been stuck at 800,000 or 900,000 people every single week filing an initial claim for unemployment, losing their job. It would be a record loss in any other year. Meanwhile, we're doing it every single week still in December. And we got some rising cases. We got the UK shutting down. We have a different strain over there, more contagious, it looks like. Vaccine expected to work still, but that means we might be dealing with more restrictions and shutdowns if we have a case acceleration for an even more potentially contagious strain. Not necessarily more deadly, but cases. It's a tough deal. You've seen it happen in the UK with their health secretary saying it's out of control, and that's going to hit the economy. But guess what? We woke up yesterday thinking it was going to hit our stock prices, and not so much the case, as we're almost 100 points off of the low. And really, I mean, you look at where we based for a while, right? If you zoom it in just on the action on yesterday early, I mean, we were chopping around between about 36.10, 36.60, somewhere in that range. We had the up, the down. We made it early, right at the opening bell to 36.70. Well, as you can see, we're a solid 23 points even above that level right now in the S&Ps. Okay, jumping around. Let's continue to see what we have going on. Goldman Sachs, interesting story out here. So they're going to be going for the masses. Goldman Sachs, they've begun internal testing of a new automated investment service ahead of a broader rollout early next year. Employees who sign on to the digital service called Marcus Invest will pay an annual management fee of 0.15%. Folks, I think this is a great idea. I've talked about it on my program before. You know, if you have investments out there yourself or friends or family that are not into the market, they're not very financial literate, you can almost just say, listen, you need buckets of money, right? Put 60% of your money in the S&P, the SPY, or the VOO, whatever that fund of your choice. But you need a little bit of guidance for that. And maybe this is just enough where they're going to skim 0.15% off the top, but that might be worth it for some people. And you can see how when you get computers and AI involved in something, you take a fee like that. Employees who sign on, 0.15% annual management fee, public launch Q1 of 2021. You see how Robinhood's accelerated, folks. It makes sense that this is going to be only the next step of managing money at a very low fee, automated services. I've been through the Fidelity Wealth Management rigmarole. It's a very high fee, folks, in that market when you talk about compounding for investments over tens of years. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back to go over what else we have going on Tuesday. Stay tuned.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. Are you looking to buy or sell gold, silver, platinum, coins, or bullion? We can help. At Tiger Precious Metals and Stones, we specialize in the buying and selling of gold, silver, as well as collectible U.S. and foreign coins. We not only buy your unwanted or broken jewelry, but you can trade that in for gold and silver coins, too. Call Andy now at 727-329-8245 for a quote over the phone and to lock in the current market price. Call us now at 727-329-8245.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We get the S&P's positive by 7 points right now, 36.93. You consider where we are for the year. Remarkable, folks. 2020, we start the year off 32.36 is where we end 2019. We trade from 3,400 down to 21.74. We make it back up to 3,200 pretty much by June 9th, and then we sit there until basically November, which is remarkable, right? Talk about some volatility. You did have a run there from about the beginning of July of 3,000 up to 3,600. So think about that. You had a 20% run in the market from July, basically June 29th, up to the highs we had on September 3rd. But meanwhile, you were stationary from June 8th until October 30th because of these pullbacks we got on a couple occasions. I mean, it was inching up, collapsing to the negative side, as is usually the case. The elevator on the way down, the stairs on the way up were pretty high, folks. Yesterday, things got a little dicey. This market shook it off. But, man, we've traded from 3,200 to almost 3,800 in this market, basically on expectations of future that we have some time to go for. 6 months, 9 months. I keep bringing it up because, man, it's very hard for me to imagine this market at 3,900 or 4,000 in the very near immediate future, and I'm talking about maybe in the next 2 to 3 months. It's very easy for me to imagine this market at 3,400. I mean, all things considered, folks, that you'd just be back in the consolidation we've been in, jumping around since September, would be basically at 3,400. Just to put things in context, what is that? That's 175 points. You'd end the year, what is that? More than 5%? You'd end the year 6% positive for the year in 2020 after banner year in 2019 at 3,400, and that would just be a consolidation, 2 trade higher. But boy, watch out for some of these moves. Speaking of some of the moves, let's check in on Tesla this morning. Trading pretty calm in light of where we are. 652 up about $3. Pretty calm action yesterday for Tesla. Gave back a little bit of the gains, but as we were talking about yesterday, you take Friday out of the mix, and yesterday you're sitting at all-time highs on Tesla. I mean, you take the last 2 days out of Tesla, Friday and Monday, and basically you're sitting at almost all-time highs for Tesla again today. Jumping around some of the other stocks, we'll jump right into the stocks with earnings. CarMax, they're out with their numbers. $1.42 a share. Market was looking for $1.14. Revenue came in above forecast. However, comp used vehicle sales down 0.8%. Market was looking for 1%, so a little bit of a mixed boat there. CarMax, KMX is their symbol. And there you see. So the market from 101 to 97.2. Not bad numbers, but not living up to expectations. And when you look, when you look at these equities, folks, I mean, you're priced for normal behavior here from 37 to 109, as in you're priced for pretty good numbers coming out of COVID, back at these exact levels that we were at prior to that. Peloton, so they've been rocking it higher. Yesterday, Tom's program was just playing at 8 o'clock from last night. Leading into this program, he's talking about Peloton at all-time highs. So they're going to acquire rival fitness equipment maker Precor for $420 million in a deal that would give it more market share as well as increased manufacturing capacity. I think that's a big one there, as they have been struggling with demand, with supply to keep up with demand. The acquisition is prompting certain analysts to raise their price target, highly synergistic and supportive of long-term growth. And check it out, folks. I mean, not bad, right, when you think about it. So there's the chart in Peloton, and you're going to see. You think yesterday was an all-time high, folks? We got a bid-ask above 160 right now. We were just trading at 100 on November 16th, let alone trading at about $35 to start the year or $17 at the low. You're going to talk about almost a 10-bagger from the lows in March. There's the acceleration overnight on that news that they're going to be buying Precor. And, man, you go into the fundamentals of this company for evaluation, and you're talking about a $47 billion company. Okay, now what I'm going to point out here, which is remarkable when deals like this get done. So they're a $47 billion company. They have 292 million shares outstanding. It's trading up $15, give or take, almost $16. We'll call it $15 right now. They have almost 300 million shares outstanding. So every $10 that gets added to the stock, or every dollar that gets stock added, is 300 million in market capitalization. Every $10 is going to be $3 billion in market capitalization. They've added about $4.5 billion to their market capitalization overnight for spending $420 million. Their market cap just went up 10 times the amount of money they just spent on this company. That is quite an investment, folks. This stock, watch out, turning into a little bit of a cult following to the likes of Tesla, but we all seen what's happened with Tesla. Peloton, perfectly positioned in the stay-at-home market. Okay, we talked about CarMax. We talked about Peloton. Sportsman Warehouse, let's see. They're going to be bought by Great American Doors Company, $18 a share. Alphabet's Google unit and Facebook allegedly agreed to cooperate and assist one another on any investigation into online ad cooperation, according to an unredacted version of a lawsuit filed against Google last week, seen by the Journal. That would be a tough one, folks. You do not want to have cooperating and assisting one another when you talk about these two, because, boy, they control all the ads basically on the internet. Amazon creeping in on that business a bit, but they're the two giants out there. United warned that any recall of employees resulting from new airline aid would be temporary due to the fact that little change in passenger demand is expected over the next few months. Read that one, folks, because it speaks volumes about everything going on in this economy. Things aren't getting back to normal until we get rid of this virus. I'm going to be out there taking the vaccine when I can. I encourage you to. If you have not been affected previous, if there's no reason for health reasons, I would encourage you to look into it. It seems all but pretty safe. Haven't heard of any severe adverse effects, and we got to do it because this is what's going to happen. No matter how much stimulus we give this economy, folks, it ain't coming back until people can get out there and feel safe. Even having restaurants open, it's so difficult to even operate while this is going on. You got to get rid of it. You're seeing it in United. It's a bummer. We just passed the spending bill, and United said any employees that are getting recalled are going to be temporary because guess what? Demand isn't there. That's it. You know, anybody we bring back, it's going to be temporary. We got holidays going on. We get some aid coming in. But guess what? Demand's not there. That's it. Tesla shares remain on watch after the stock fell 6.5% Monday. Yeah, good of CNBC just to throw in Tesla in there. Apple, higher in pre-market trading. How about them? Yeah, let's talk about this story, folks. Apple, you ready for your Apple car? Talk about some movement, folks. Now, this stock, my goodness. You were up dramatically yesterday on this news, and it makes sense. 2024, if they're going to have a car in 3 years, folks, watch out. My goodness. And remarkable that you see no action in Tesla. No action at all. You're telling me that if Apple makes a car, they're not going to be competing with Tesla? I think they would be. But the Analyze tab, folks, the fundamentals, Apple. Okay, what is this? 17 billion shares outstanding at $128 gets you to 2.2 trillion. 17 billion shares outstanding. And what I'm going to say is, to see how this impacts the market, you traded basically $7 yesterday, and I'm going to go from 124 to 131. Okay, and we're even $1 higher. So you could say even 120. Let's go $8. We were at 124 early yesterday. Really, I think this news broke late yesterday, but nonetheless, I mean, we had already traded higher. That's $8, and you're going to multiply that $8 times the 17 billion. Okay, what is that? $136 billion was added to the market capitalization of Apple since 11 a.m. yesterday morning. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back to go finish up the show.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We have the markets just hanging out right where we started the program, actually. S&P is positive by 6. NQ futures, NASDAQ 100 up by 60. Dow slightly negative by 5, and the Russell positive by 5 right now. Jumping back to the U.S. third quarter. So record pace in the third quarter and getting a 33.4% annualized rate. And that follows the 31.4% contraction we had in April and June, the deepest since the government started keeping records in 1947. The economy remains 3.5%, folks, below its level at the end of 2019. Economists polled by Reuters, they were looking for an unrevised at 33.1. So you tick up. It was 33.1. It's been revised to 33.4. They're struggling in the U.S. 17.78 million people infected. I thought that was going to say on the rolls. We still have 20 million people in some type of economic assistance on those numbers. Jumping over to Europe, you have the IMF talking about the recovery may slow. You see an increase in cases. Unless pandemic dynamics change significantly in the coming months, economic activity is set to recover more gradually than forecast. That was the reason for yesterday's action, folks. Remarkable that on the day we get the second biggest stimulus ever in our country's history, only second to the CARES Act that we got in March, you have markets cascading to the downside because the reason we're passing those acts is because of the devastation in the economy here and across Europe. So watch out for that one in a big way, as if you see that accelerate, we saw what can happen in the market yesterday. You can wake up, the S&Ps can be down 2.5%, and the VIX can be up to 32 from 22, almost overnight. With that, we'll take a look at the VIX real quick, trading at 24.24, and we're going to finish it up with the pound, folks. Why not? Pound, U.S. dollar, we're trading at 134. You see the volatility yesterday, and man, it looks like the hard Brexit's coming. It's kind of just a repeat, rinse and repeat. The EU rebuffs Boris Johnson's latest Brexit concession on fish as they continue to struggle. And the pound, 134.02 as the volatility continues over there. Stay tuned, folks. We got Larry Pesavento. It's coming up next with the market open. Stay tuned for that. We'll trade what you see. Right now, we got the S&Ps positive by 6. We got the NASDAQ 100 positive by 64. 35 minutes till that opening bell. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.